Dropshippers who are struggling to make profit usually make one or more of the 4 key mistakes that I'm going to explain in this video. If you want to turn your dropshipping store into a profit printing machine, it's very crucial to avoid and solve the common mistakes that I'm going to explain in this video. The ultimate goal of making more profit is so you can make multiple websites and dominate into multiple markets at the same time, making as much profit from your dropshipping stores as possible. My name is Robin. I've been active in e-commerce since early 2019, whereas I also make videos about my expertise, how you can make more profit from either your dropshipping store, your e-commerce brand, or from Google Ads. Without further ado, let's dive right into mistake number 1. Mistake number 1 is not having enough profit margin on your products to make a profit in the first place. I always advise people to have at least 20 euros of profit on your products. I make this mistake back in the days myself as well, when I was scaling very fast on Facebook ads back then, but initially I didn't even have enough profit to back up all the advertising costs and initial extra costs that came in place with scaling in the first place, right? Because you need to grow your team, you need to have more after service in terms of customer service, you need to handle more backend problems in terms of returns and refunds. So you need to have at least 20 euros profit margin per product. Otherwise, it's not even possible to scale on any marketing platform of whatsoever. Otherwise, you can end up in a situation where you're scaling and getting sales, but you don't make profit. This is the worst situation that you can potentially be in because it leads to no potential. You cannot increase your budget of advertising spend even more. You cannot reinvest into better team members, and you cannot invest into applying multiple websites in different markets because you're operating at the break even, but just on a high scale. That is the worst position to be in, trust me, because I've been there as well. And that's why you actually need at least 20 euros or more profit margin per product so you could potentially scale in the most successful way. And that brings us to mistake number 2, fragile products that can break easily during the shipping. This is one of the mistakes I made early in my e-commerce career as well. You want to ship products that cannot break during the shipment, otherwise the customer service have a lot of headache dealing with this kind of things, right? As I said before, I had this issue because one of the first winning products I found was a privacy screen protector, but it was from very thin glass and the package was not so sustainable to travel from China into the European Union. So therefore, 30 or 40% of the packages came initially broken to the clients in the first place. So shipping fragile products that can break during the shipping can literally break your business, because if you have to refund 30 or 40% from the customers, you might not even make profit in the first place. And also your payment processors are not going to agree with this kind of numbers when it comes down to refunding clients, right? So shipping fragile products that can break during the shipping is essential to avoid by any means. You can either increase the quality of the package, but it's better to avoid these products at all, especially if you ship from a far distance from Asia to Europe or for the United States, right? So this is a very important lesson that I initially learned in the first place when I just started out with my very first winning product. But before we dive to mistake number 3, when it comes down to winning products, make sure to click the link in the description where you can find my article of where I even explain some bonus problems that I also solved later on down the e-commerce journey that you can potentially learn from. So make sure to click the link on the description for some extra bonus tips and tricks inside for my 6 years already in the e-commerce game. And that brings us to mistake number 3. If your products are very hard to bundle or upsell, you might not make enough profit to be sustainable for the long run. As I said to you before, one of my first winning products was a privacy screen protector, but the problem from this product was that people only need one piece, right? They can only apply one piece at their phone at the time, so therefore it was very hard to upsell this kind of things with more volume in terms of discounted volume, like multiple pieces, and therefore people didn't really buy 2, 3 or 4 pieces, even though I tried with some extra discount, right? So this was kind of a difficult thing, and also it was very difficult to bundle these things because I tried to bundle, but it was not really adding any value to the main product. So therefore, mistake number 3 is actually not creating any bundles or upsells from the existing products. So it's very hard to make an extra profit on this kind of products, right? Initially, you want to check also products that can be upsold with multiple variations, multiple volume of the products, and other products as a combination to make even more profit. Because the ultimate goal and where the real ROAS is created from a visitor into a paying client is that they walk out of the digital door from your website with as many products as possible and the highest average order value as possible. That's initially where you make the most profit. So if you select products and you make it very hard for yourself in the first place, it's very hard to profit and grow your ecosystem for your brand in the second place, right? So make sure to always check for products with the upsells and bundles in mind when it comes down to increasing profit. And that leads us to mistake number 4, selling products with many sizes and many colors. I see there is a big trend going on, especially in the dropshipping world when it comes down to fashion. But the only downside is that you have so many variations of fashion in terms of the product type, in terms of the colors, in terms of the sizing. So it's very hard to upgrade from a dropshipping store to a brand with stock in the first place, because you might not have enough cash flow to back up all these products to get stock in the first place there in China, right? So therefore it's very important to realize if you are serious with your dropshipping brand and you want to transition into a brand with stock for a faster shipping time and higher customer satisfaction, you need to have a bunch of selected products so you can select which one you want to have in stock and reinvest in test. And also you overcomplicate things, because if your visitor is going to your website and they have 20 variations of the same item, they might leave your website confused of what order to pick. They think, I will come back to your website later, picking another color, speaking to my man or husband or whatever, and then you lose the client. So being selective with what you sell makes it easier for people to buy from you, and also easier if you want to transition from a general dropshipping store to a branded dropshipping store with either stock in China or in the USA or in Europe, so you can have a faster shipping time. So make it yourself easy, choose products with not too many variations so you can potentially switch from a dropshipping store into a brand as fast as possible, leading with the best analytics as possible, because it's very hard to check the analytics if you have hundreds of products and just sold one pieces from everything, right? So it's better to sell just 10 products, know which one are the best sellers, and deep down from there into making more profit. So these were the 4 core mistakes I've personally made when it comes down to the criteria of winning dropshipping products. Make sure to click the link in the description where I implemented my extended article with a bunch more of e-commerce mistakes that I made and how you can avoid and learn from there. And also make sure to watch the recommendation video after this where I explain the best software that you can use to find winning products in the first place. My name is Robin, thank you for watching this video, and I see you in the next one.